cold was absolute. Glass, metal, stone, everything in the Gotham Natural History Museum was covered in a rime of frost, eerie in the hush of midnight. Footsteps echoed against marble, heavy and deliberate. Victor Frismister Freeze stood at the heart of a frozen garden, surrounded by diamonds that glittered beneath cracked case glass. He was methodical, calculating, every movement measured. Every breath fogged the inside of his domed helmet. There was a reason for the diamonds. They were the fuel for his obsession, the only hope for his wife Nora, suspended in cryogenic sleep above his head, always above him, always just out of reach. He moved through the display with the assuredness of a surgeon, ignoring alarms that blared faintly through the ice. Up above, on the domed ceiling, a shadow stalked. The city's silent protector pulled his cape close, blending into the shadows. In this moment, he was more wraith than man. But Batman was not here for the spectacle or theatrics. This was business, and the clock was ticking. Somewhere across the city, Freeze's henchmen had already lured patrol cars into elaborate traps, emptying Gotham streets for this icy heist. Freeze didn't look up when the first battering shattered a security camera just to his left. Nor did he startle when the next one severed the emergency power, bathing the hall in an unnatural blue light. He only stepped forward, his ice cannon primed, and addressed the darkness. "I know you're there, Batman. It's always in the shadow, always late." Above, a faint rustle. Then a blur of cape and cowl landed silently behind the villain. "You don't have to do this, Victor." Freeze's laugh was a brittle sound, echoing off icicles and glass. "Every second I hesitate, she dies. You, of all people, should understand sacrifice." Of course, Batman understood. That was the problem. He moved quickly, gliding between marble pillars and jagged lines of frost. Freeze's cannon fired shards of azure ice, searing the dark. Batman rolled, the cold biting even through his armor, and through a grapnel. It embedded in Freeze's armor, discharging a burst of heat, flickering orange against blue. Freeze snarled, shearing the cable with a brutal swing. He aimed again, fired wide, coating a Tyrannosaurus skeleton in a thick shell of ice. Shards rained and Batman ducked. Weaving through a thicket of diamond-flecked snow, elsewhere Freeze's plan took shape. The diamonds were not just finance, they were necessary for a new cooling matrix. The missing element to reviving Nora. Batman knew the file, the science, the agony. But he also knew what happened when obsessions ruled men. Gotham became a tomb, stalemate. Batman advanced, his boots sliding on blue glass. Freeze aimed, warned, "Stay away. You and your city can wither in the heat. Give me this one cold hope." "Hope," Batman replied, circling, "ends when you use a gun on innocent people." Freeze barked a sad laugh. "You see only the criminal, never the cost." He squeezed the trigger. The cannon roared. A blast caught Batman's gauntlet, crystallizing it instantly. For a heartbeat, Batman couldn't move his hand. Pain flared, sharp and angry. He pivoted anyway, driving into Freeze with a ferocity born of desperation. They tumbled, crashing into a display of meteorites, shattering rock and glass. Batman fought to keep away from the muzzle, but Freeze, strength mechanical augmented, was tremendous. Batman dug an arm blade into the cannon's coolant tank. Chemical frost hissed into the air. Freeze's helmet began to fog. His actions slowed, his movements lagged. "I will not let you take her from me," Freeze bellowed, flailing, wild. "You're taking everyone from someone," Batman grunted. A lucky swing from Freeze clipped Batman's shoulder, sending him sprawling on the marble. For a moment, the two men faced each other amid wreckage and frost. Two obsessions. Two prisoners of their own making. Finally, Batman surged forward, landing a calculated blow to the armor's release valve. Freeze staggered, the ice gun falling from his numb grip, all at once. Blue light died, and silence returned. Sirens began to wail, distant at first, then filling the frigid air. Batman knelt, catching his breath, watching as Freeze, ever the tragic figure collapsing, refusing to look up. "She's all I ever had." Batman picked up the cooling diamond, holding it out in his gloved palm. "Let me help, Victor, but not like this." Freeze, silent now, said nothing as armed officers swept in. The museum thawed slowly, shards of diamond and ice reflecting red and blue flashes. Later, alone in Wayne Manor, Bruce stood before the glass case that housed the battered gauntlet, its fingers crusted in permanent frost. In Gotham, the line between villain and victim was never sharp. It ran crooked and cold, shifting with every heartbeat. But tonight, Batman had chosen mercy. Even amidst absolute zero, there was the faintest trace of warmth.